One woman entered a dusty auction yard where abandoned horses were traded like old scrap, and she left with a horse that she had forgotten about. A surprise that nobody anticipated. I have hope. She did not come with the intention of doing a miracle. On the other hand, she discovered just that. Despite being bruised and broken, a pregnant Mustang is still holding on to life. The slaughter is only a few hours away. In the subsequent events, it was not only about preserving one life. Rather, it was about changing the lives of many. This is the perfect narrative for you if you're someone who has ever supported the underdog and those who believe in the concept of second chances. If you are someone who believes in the power of compassion, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with others. As we embark on a trip together, you will find yourself unable to catch your breath, feeling inspired, and possibly even crying. On the day when she arrived at the auction yard, the temperature was chilly. It is not just a chill in the air. Rather, it is the kind of cold that settles deep within your bones when you step into a place where hope is destined to die. Behind rusty fences stood horses with sunken eyes and lifeless coats. Some of the horses had been trained once, while others had never experienced kindness in their lives. She was a pale gray mare, her ribs showing behind layers of dirt and blood, and her tummy was filled with life. She was squeezed against crumbling wooden boards in the farthest corner of the room. No one was aware of her name. Her failure to complete a training program resulted in her being designated as unmanageable and therefore flagged for slaughter. This seemed to be her destiny. But suddenly someone noticed her, a woman named Maya, and a rescuer with tired eyes and calm hands when approached the gate. Maya was the person who saw her. Another worker gave a shrug. The arrival of her is imminent. It's not worth much today. There was no response from Maya. She had no reason to do so. What she saw in the mayor's eyes was clear to her. But there is also fire. Fear, indeed. So that was sufficient. Despite the fact that her pulse was hammering with something she couldn't comprehend, she completed the paperwork more quickly than she had ever done before. When Maya came back to the pen with a halter and a soft rope, the mayor did not run away because of her presence. Indeed, she flinched, but she did not run away. She just watched, as if she was waiting for someone to finally mean what they said when they said, "Are you safe?" Maya gave her the name Sky. The ride back in the trailer was rather peaceful. Sky didn't recline or become anxious in any way. She did nothing but stand there, witnessing the world go by, as if she was attempting to recall what it was like to be at peace. The door of the trailer was unlocked by Maya that night, and Sky took his first step onto the soft ground for the first time in several months. The moon was full of the moment. Before returning her attention to Maya, she paused, took a look around the grass, the stars, and the immense space. The two of them looked at each other. They exchanged something with one another, not yet with trust, but with the prospect of it. Maya remained awake throughout the night, sitting on the porch with a flashlight in her hand, wrapped in a blanket, and watching and waiting. Then it started to happen. Skypace snorted and shook in response. Maya did not take a breath. The world was graced with the arrival of a miracle just after midnight, beneath the Nevada sky. A small foal that is damp. She was lovingly nuzzled by Sky, who licked away at the birth sac while simultaneously encouraging the small legs to move. They swayed, fell, and then failed once more. Despite her voice shaking, Maya whispered, "Dear, tiny one, you have just entered the world." River was given a name by her. After that, the days that followed were calm and tender. River eventually became more powerful, initially stumbling across the paddock, and later sprinting over it, chasing after moss and sunlight. The Sky continued to be vigilant, never far away, and always prepared. On the other hand, the world that lay beyond the sanctuary was not so friendly. The images of Sky giving birth quickly became viral on the internet. People were moved and motivated by the event. Others, however, questioned why it would be beneficial to save a wild horse. It would have been unfair to put her down. Using resources in this manner is a waste. With a tight jaw and a heavy heart, Maya read each and every comment. Following that, Harlan, a local official, arrived with a clipboard in his hand. Skeptical in his eyes, he came to document and scrutinize the situation. When he saw Sky, who was calm, proud, lively, and River playing next to her, he took a moment to reconsider his decision. He left with a note that allowed him to be awarded sanctuary status. Despite this, the criticism has not stopped for the time being. There was a man who appeared at the gate one evening. He was tall and hard, and his eyes were concealed beneath mirrored sunglasses. Dale, a former contractor with the crews that participated in the federal roundup. You believe that she is safe? He made a sneering sound. In the previous year, she fractured the collarbone of a man. Maya had a definite stance. When she was mishandled, she was afraid. It was his warning that the mare would not change. If she loses her temper, you will be unable to keep that foal. Maya did not show any signs of fear. She is no longer yours to possess. Because she is mine, she will not be leaving anytime soon. Following his spit on the ground, Dale rode away. The night in question, Sky refused to go inside. With her muscles stiff and her ears twitching, she paced. She was able to recall him. It was until dawn that Maya sat outdoors, murmuring quietly, in an attempt to calm the tempest that was raging inside Sky's chest. Then the storm that was in the sky arrived. The dark clouds moved in quickly, and the thunder rumbled in the distance like distant battle drums. Increasing winds caused the trees to bend downward. Maya was working on mending the roof of the shelter when she heard the sound of water that was flowing. Never in a million years had the old dry ditch been subjected to precipitation. On the other hand, there was a flash flood that roared through the ditch and headed directly into the paddock. She fled. The river was close to the fence line. She was interested and oblivious, and the Sky noticed it as well. As she pushed forward without any hesitation, her hooves slammed into the wooden post, causing it to fracture and eventually shatter through. She gave River a forceful push in the opposite direction, just as the muddy walls began to surge forward. Moments later, Maya arrived at their location, drenched and gasping for air. River's lead was grasped by her, and she was tugged in the direction of the barn. Sky came next, shaking but unyielding in her resolve. The video began to circulate like wildfire, showing Sky attempting to rescue her child by storming through the fence, challenging every label and every uncertainty. There were tears shed, people changed, messages poured in, donations were made, and support was shown. There was even something that Dale sent, which was a shredded halter and a branding iron that was left silently on the side of the field. There was a message, an asterisk, that I used to break horses attached to it. It wasn't until I witnessed what she did that I decided to stop hurting them. Thank you very much. Asterisk. The Sky and River remained, and helpers arrived on the scene. Children who were visited, veterans of war, people who had survived trauma, and people with silent hearts all discovered something in Sky's calm strength. Maya sat in the grass, without shoes on one particular morning. The river, brimming with happiness, rushed at her. After that, the Sky arrived, calm and collected. Sky made her first attempt to touch Maya's hand by lowering her head and making contact with her. Not taming, not surrender, not expressing gratitude, not forgiving, and not trusting. The world continued to keep a close eye on the situation, and Sky evolved into something more than a rescue. She went on to become a coach. All of the people were reminded by her that strength is not loud. It is calm, patient, and unable to be shaken. She's shown that healing is a process that takes time, and that love has the power to rebuild what fear destroys. In addition, she bestowed upon the world something that is uncommon: the notion that the impossible is attainable. Consequently, if you have ever questioned whether or not a single act of kindness can transform the entire world, you should think about Sky and ask yourself, who is your Sky? Essentially an asterisk in meaning. Compassion is never a good use of time. If given the opportunity, even the most shattered of souls are capable of healing. Asterisks are asterisk.